What's up, Spice Rack, and welcome back to another episode of Spice's Diary, where every meal feeds the soul and every story heals the heart. You guys know I have coined myself as the retired prison wife because my husband, Creed, served 22 years for a crime he didn't commit, and I served every single one of those days supporting him. He's been home for almost 4 years now, and we are still banging our head trying to figure out how to make this work and having fun. One of the biggest things that I think I was not prepared for is that my partner that came home, my husband, Creed, that I've loved since I was, 15 years old. I've known him since I was 11. Is not the same person who came home. The person I spent all those times with at those visiting tables, talking about our future, planning our future, building our future. The person that sent me hundreds of letters telling me about all of the plans that he had for me, for him, for us, for our family. And the whole time I'm making the plans with him. I'm sharing my plans. I'm doing the legwork out here, moving ahead with the plans that we discussed. I'm just going with the flow, feeling like he's going to take the lead and control the situation or run the situation when he gets home because he has such a laid out plan. Well, I was sadly mistaken. My husband is a great man. Fine, too. He is a wonderful, wonderful human being. He's endured a lot of horrible things and even participated in some things that were not that great. He's lived a few different lifetimes, and the one that he's currently in is completely different from anyone he's ever lived in before. For the last 20-something years, he did about almost 23 years in prison. And during that time when I was there supporting him, I'm supporting him as my husband, Big Munch. That's what everybody knew him as. That's what he went by. That's how he operated. But what came home was not Big Munch. He had been trying to strip away that guy for a long time anyway. And there were some aspects I knew that I didn't even want him to continue to hold on to. But there was other pieces that I thought, oh, this is just him. This is who he is. This is how it's going to be. And I look forward to those parts. But that is not the case, you guys. He came home a completely different person. And I was embarrassed to say that for a while because I was also embarrassed to say that I was heartbroken about it. Obviously, I'm not talking about different person as far as, yeah, he's not going to be the same guy he was 20 years ago. He got more mature. He was more educated. He learned so much more. He was a different man, of course. That's not what I'm talking about. All of those changes were amazing, and we're so grateful that he did those because that helped us get to where we are right now. The changes I'm talking about is just personality-wise. He was still funny. Just his likes, his dislikes, he didn't even know. Moods. I couldn't read him anymore. He wasn't really understanding me anymore. I think we both felt a little on eggshells around each other because we're like, I know you, but who the hell are you? We look different to each other out here. Like, I recognize you, and you smell familiar. I know them lips. But something's a little off. It took us a lot of months to figure that out. I think because neither of us knew how to identify it. We didn't know what it was or how to fix it. So we just kind of let it roll for a little bit. And it just came down to the fact that we were two different people out here. For all those years, we were living his life together. But he had never seen my life in real life. I'd never seen all of his either. I saw glimpses. But those glimpses kind of gave me a picture of how to support him. Please understand that I'm not saying I'm not happy with him. Because y'all know I love my man. I'm just saying it was a huge transition. Waiting for, doing time for someone for 20-something years. And that person never coming home to you. A resemblance of him. Yeah, he looks like that guy. But he don't act like that guy. He don't talk like that guy. He don't process like that guy. Nothing that I knew my husband to be is what I'm dealing with now. And that is a very hard thing to understand a lot of times because it just doesn't always make sense. Like, I see you. I'm looking at you. Be you. He has changed a lot. And some of it has been in his control and a lot of it's been out of his control. And that can be very frustrating for not only him, but also for me. The other day he was trying to get me to understand it. And he was like, you know, you always talk about your clients that have English as a second language and that they have to, a lot of times, write out what they're going to say in their language and then translate it into English and then recite it and try to say it in English. He said, that's what I do every single day, all day. You guys will be talking to me or doing things that you think are so normal. And I have to always try to translate what you're doing because it just does not make sense for me. And I would try to be sensitive to that, but I don't think that always was something easy for me to do. And here's why. You know, ladies who've been locked up with somebody, there's a lot of demands and sometimes a lot of entitlement. And it's not even intentional. But they are used to us operating in a way that makes it where their wishes are every command. And I think that was something that I got really good at while he was incarcerated, and it became second nature that whatever Creed needed, I would make sure it got done, and he never had to wait on me. Like, I would do it lickety split because I was representing him, I was supporting him, I had his back, and he was gonna have my back. So I'm doing for him what I'm thinking you're gonna do for me. And so when he came home, we were not aware of how trauma was going to affect us. We didn't know what trauma was gonna look like in the reentry process. When he came home, and some of the expectations that I thought were very low on the bar were not met, it was confusing to me and often frustrating for me, because I would often be like, well, I didn't understand how to do it. I didn't know how to do that stuff either, but you made me do it. You asked me to do it. You expected that I do it. So that's what I'm expecting you to do. I get it. The things, they're not exactly the same, and it might not translate exactly the same. And to others who have not been in this situation probably think that I'm being very insensitive. But if you've been in this, you know what I'm talking about. Where are my retired prison wives at? And it's like, I did this for us. I did this for you. I did this at your request, the way that you wanted me to do it. So now I'm asking you to do A, B, and C the way you expected me to do A, B, and C. And to me, I feel like that would be second nature to you, since you demanded that of me. And when I didn't see that, I didn't understand that. And it made me angry. Well, it hurt my feelings first. Then it made me very angry, and sometimes a little resentful, because I remembered all that I would do for him, scared, confused, not knowing how to do it, not knowing which way to go, driving hours in the dark by myself with no GPS. All of these things that I was doing because it was like my man needed it. And that's all I needed to know and all I needed to hear. So that I'm sitting here asking you for what I think are simple things that I need now that you're home. And he's looking at me like I got 3 heads. And when you're not able to provide them, it was hard for me to understand why. And that's, you guys, where I'll tell you, therapy has been a huge help. I wish I had an ad for therapy. I'd be like, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the way that we made it through, because honestly, sponsor me. We got into therapy, and that has really helped us be able to really change the mindset where we've been operating with, and kind of just reboot our system and understand what has happened to both of us during that 22-year incarceration. So much trauma, you guys. And trauma really shows up in ways that I never knew. I never prepared for how much I would be traumatized. That's been wild, you guys. And I'm still learning this. And we're 4 years out, been in therapy a year. We're doing his, hers, and couples therapy. And we're still learning so much about each other and what that situation did to us and the impact it's had on us. Any time in prison is going to affect the incarcerated and its supporters. That's what it's designed to do. So imagine what 22 years would do. That's a lot of damage to undo. So this has been such a huge learning curve. And yeah, it's been a little disappointing at times and unsettling, and both of us are not sure. But guys, that's what marriage is. But he is my partner, and there is nobody else in this world that I would do this life with. It is me and Pookie and Munchie till the wheels fall off.